I've sold all of my ordinals and most of my runes that have any volume. And in this video, I want to go over my thought process, why I did that, the good things that happened, the bad things that happened, and most importantly, maybe what could get me back into ordinals, because there are a few things that are happening currently in the space and could be catalysts. So first of all, I would say it's safe to assume that the ordinals theory that I had and pretty much most of the market had didn't play out exactly. Technically, what we were looking at was, the first push here in like 2023 of ordinals, some volume. Then we had a massive period of drought and pretty much no volume. But more and more people like getting into the space, new stuff coming, runes, BRCs, you name it. And then we had what I would consider like the major bull market of 2023 and 2024 in ordinals, right up until pretty much the halving of 2024. And since then, we've been in a place where pretty much mostly we've been going down. And with Bitcoin's price also being on the verge of a bear market potentially, I'm just starting to struggle to see if this whole thing will play out another leg and another push that we had here, but in a way to dwarf it compared to what we are, because this is the playbook of the ETH NFTs, and even if we got like half of it, or you might have seen those pictures, like the volume on ordinals is this much, and it was 1% of the volume compared to the ETH volume back in the day. And if we get to like 5% of the volume, it's also, all those metrics and calculations are kind of getting out the window at this stage. And I honestly, in general, I made money. I made money, quite a bit of money on ordinals, but I could have played this so much better, as always. And what dragged me, and what I think it's an extremely important lesson to talk about, is the biases and the anchoring that I had that, yes, this will happen. And although I had plans in place where I want to cut losses or cut trades in general and sell ordinals, I didn't follow it exactly, because I always, in the back of my mind, I had this thought process and this hope that we're going to get this massive influx and everything will be fine. And I'll finally make the life-changing amount of money that I was hoping for in the very beginning. And I think that's a very dangerous path to go down. And I think it's crucial to catch yourself in the moment and to start knowing yourself, and to start when to cut your losses, and the sunk cost analysis, because you're down 50, 60, 70% doesn't mean that you have to keep all the assets that you have. It's still some money. That's pretty much on some instance what I did with most of the assets. And let's look at several examples. So first of all, Bitcoin Puppet. This was one of my last major trades before I started dumping them. But pretty much the thesis was, just do it here. The thesis was I was buying here around 0.13, and we started seeing pushes into like 0.20, and this was when Bitcoin was making pretty much all-time highs. And then I was like, okay, this is looking very good. We're looking for another extension as Bitcoin is accelerating, targeting all-time high, like 0.4, 0.5. That was like very good price target for me. However, at some point, we broke this line of, I would say, cope, which should have been my stop loss because it was very clean, like 0.1. And then we just slowly grinded down without any kind of bounce. And I was falling in the fallacy of, we could bounce here. I will probably sell on the bounce if we get rejected, but we never did. So I basically backheld from 0.13 somewhere around here to like somewhere around here. So 70% down on a, I would say, good size position for puppets. It didn't feel good, because at the same time, price of Bitcoin was also depreciating. So not a great trade. Overall, excluding this one, if I draw the line for all my trades from the very beginning of Ordinals, I did well, but still, I definitely mismanaged this one. Another one poorly managed was Bitcoin Frogs. I was buying in and out of it, and I just capitulated at the end. This was one of my like major positions for a long time, and I did sell a bunch of them at the highs. I was pretty much one of the people that sold here on this wick, as close as you can get to 0.5. Actually, you don't see it here. I don't know why you don't see it, but there was a price action here, like much higher, like Bitcoin Frogs got to like 0.5, and then I bought some at the like as price was going down, it stabilized somewhere around here 0.04. I bought some more, and then exact same thing happened, and I just capitulated. And now obviously they're bouncing, so maybe I'm the bottom indicator. I hope so. But again, what happens here is that this could play out as a new accumulation, and I wouldn't mind getting into this a little bit higher if we see some signs of reversal and in general the sentiment around Ordinals to shift and maybe some developments in the space. But this is just another example that I made a lot of money on Bitcoin Frogs, but yet I lost a lot of them because of I poorly managed the trade. Net in profit, but I could have made double more than this what I made. So again, one of those trades. Other than that, I played very well. OMB, I think, sold pretty much everything. I didn't mint the black eyes, but I was taking profit. I had some position, but as you can see, they announced it. They announced the new collection, and price. Everybody was expecting for price to go up, and it did for like half a day, and then start collapsing. Same with Quantum Cats. Actually, I sold Quantum Cats just before the Taproot Wizards mint announcement, and it was so weird because at the day of the announcement, I was like, "Damn, this will now pump." Because Taproot Wizards was supposed to be like one of the most hyped collections ever. And it didn't. So I was like, what are the chances for me selling the exact day before the announcement and being like selling at a good price? So I was selling at 0.2, the cats that I had. And then obviously price collapsed after that. But I wasn't expecting it. I thought I would see this much higher. But also the cats, I think very important example here. I remember this price action when they got to 0.5, and I was keeping my cats, and I had a dead one and a live one. And Woody was going around and saying, don't list your cats, you don't know. Anyway, there were some golden capes going around there. And I was holding so tight for them because, again, I had this bias that these will go to Bitcoin and above. And technically, the chance of getting a golden cape was absolutely minimal, and I think they didn't even there wasn't even a golden cape here for potential Bitcoin of Taproot Wizard whitelist. So I definitely could have sold this a lot earlier and much better, even on the latest pump. Like there was signs here that were already kind of exhausting the trend, but as I said, I was drinking the hopium and hoping for the big gains. But you can see, like, they announced the most hyped collection ever, Taproot Wizards, and look at the price action, exactly like OMBs. Like, they sold off because they're trying to get so much money from the community. It's insane. And Uri, I think, really messed this up big time. I think he's supposed to launch somewhere in here, but he was playing exactly the same game like us. He was hoping that we are just starting the bull market and they are going to be able to raise a shit ton of money at crazy valuations because everything will be ripping and there will be a shit ton of volume. However, he collected so much, like 30 or 40 million in funding for his projects. And at some point, I believe, as the market was turning, the investors were like, hey, what's going on here? We're getting all this money and we're not getting anything back. You should launch this. And he prolonged for 2 years only to launch it at the worst time possible. Because there could be worse time later down the line. And I think he got pressured into launching them right now. Okay, the bullish case could be that this thing could do very well. And it could kind of revive the market. But I just have my doubts based on the price action of OMBs, because they were also code collection. They are, yes, above mint. I think Taproot Wizards will do well and will be above mint. But again, if you don't have any exposure, just do the math. Is it worth getting, let's just do this real quick, worth getting a couple of cats for like 0.25 and then minting your Taproot Wizard for 0.1? So this is a total of 0.35 Bitcoin. And these cats will probably go down significantly after mint, so 0.05. So you lose like 70% on the value of these. And are you going to gain at least 70% on the value of your mint price? I would argue yes. So maybe it will make sense if you sell your cats at 70% loss and keep your Taproot Wizard and has plus 70% gains. However, the numbers here are not small. Just percentage-wise, it makes sense. But are you playing this game with such big numbers and big risks? And obviously, the liquidity is an issue in general. Are you playing that only to make like 5, 10, 15%? And do you believe Taproot Wizards will go to like, I don't know, 1 Bitcoin to be worth of the effort? And do you think that the people in the space have so much money to spare to like flip the Taproot Wizards? I'm just struggling. I hope I'm wrong, because I'll be the first to admit it and just go and buy some stuff when I see the reversals. But for now, I just don't see it. Same thing on Runes. Runes Theory hasn't played out. Doc as the catalyst, like the main coin. It hasn't been performing. It's been just down only if Magic Eden launches the chart. But pretty much we can do it also here. Let me just put the Doc chart here. It will be easier if we do it this way. Oops. Where the hell is my Doc chart? Oh, I don't see it. Okay. So let me just change the layout. You can see this. Like, I was hoping we get a breakout here. And it just, look at the amount of red weeks in a row, for fuck's sake. And the breakdown of this significant level, like it didn't even exist. So things are not looking great. And we got rejected here already this week. So if we reclaim, maybe we get a push. But do you think all those people will just hold it? I've sold all my Doc, collected all the gains that I had, or losses. And that's it. And net, I just lost money on Runes. And that's big time. I didn't play Magic Internet Money that much, but on Pups, on Doc, on Billy, on RuneCoin, you name it, all of them. I didn't sell when they were breaking down, and just another lesson for me. But just Pups, it was very clean, extremely clean when this was happening, because I did average somewhere around 200, 250, and this shit just broke down, but I was still drinking the hopium. And I was saying, okay, this will reverse, or at least it will give us a retest. It never did, and it just fizzled out to nowhere. So yeah, I'm more than willing to be wrong, because this could flip, this could change. I just don't see the catalyst right now. And even like if you're on communities or on Twitter and you're seeing people talking, oh, this is just the beginning, or there's so many things happening on Bitcoin, this is the mother chain, all this hopium. Think again and think if these people are just making you hold backs. And why would you hold this? Let's say, I keep repeating this. Why would you hold this if it gives you a sign of strength somewhere around here, and you buy it back again? Like, why would you hold for all the pain and not just, risk whatever, 30, 40%, buy it higher, set a risk this time, maybe keep it. This is a note to myself, and then play it as a fresh setup as the narrative and as everything is changing. Because when we have such an extended bear trend that we already had on Ordinals, I don't think this will flip a switch and it will turn into a bull market in a day or two. There will be signs and there will be catalysts that we'll be able to see. One bright spot is Odin.fun. I haven't really been playing this. I personally don't have much of an edge in here, and the charts are just terrible. Otherwise, the experience of trading has been great, but this could be a project that could do well, and Woody is behind it. They've even put some money on the Taproot Wizards community. This guy is building it. It's pretty solid. I love it. But again, it gives me shitcoin vibes, and all of these are shitcoins, and I think the times for shitcoins, like, people have had enough, and we just need a new spark. Where is it going to come? Is it at all going to come? I'm not betting on it, but I'm monitoring the space in case it does, and I'll be ready to deploy capital accordingly. So yeah, guys, these are my thoughts. These are like things that I've made bad decisions, good decisions, And I hope you learn, and not only on Ordinals, because Ordinals is just one thing. There will be other opportunities that will play out the same, but if you don't learn from your mistakes made in Ordinals, you won't be able to take the advantage of the other opportunities as well. Peace. See you in the next one.